Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We're in Endwalker now. Our sprouts are gone, and we're just really getting started, so let's get started. Alright, we are live. I think we decided we were going to do this quest first.
Yeah.
Unlock the zones that KJ needs to farm the materials he needs.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
I like that coat.
I do too. Mm-hmm.
I've seen somebody with it.
Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kryl of the Students of Maldesian. We seek passage to Thavnir, and understand that you can assist us. Ah, test subjects! Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
I love it.
Test subjects?
Yeah, I started laughing.
Oh, you hadn't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurtling through the life stream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly, that changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Sharlayan and the other in Edlamod, a port town in Thavnir. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Radzatan, and indeed we owe much of the breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. To sum it up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will that be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true. And far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. We need to sign the waivers, apparently. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream. It is in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't the most people. Mistress Kryl truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, are Master Wolfson and Mistress Blauda not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly.
Just so you know, during one of your the screens, you were not talking to us.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Odd.
you voiced out. You came back in on the last 4 words.
Odd.
But it looks like Yurianji needs to stay here and find out about the 2 people not here and talk to him. See if he can learn something new about what they're doing here.
Indeed, although that might be more the other team's responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, before I click this, is she going to show up and Estidian just walk over there and use the Aetherite and disappear? Because he doesn't want to see this?
I don't know.
Maybe.
But it is possible that I released the push to talk button and didn't notice.
Okay.
Right, we're all set. Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please? Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon
I
have
note
soaring
that she
through the
ran.
ether.
And we turned around and we're like, that doesn't bode well.
Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
Oh my gosh. Rude! And exploded.
Indeed.
She gives the excited yes! After we all disappeared and fighting load screen bosses.
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance?
Lovely.
Against such an insidious foe.
Looks like it hit Urianjay a little hard.
Uh-huh. I like the peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going pretty well so far. We have done essentially nothing so far. Just the intro quests in Charlian.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish.
Fancrit is killing me. He's so funny.
Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
That tower is right next to the city.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let Estinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Indeed. You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time?
Oh no.
Did they say Estinian's bad with money?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes they did. You there. I need 3 drinks. Something that helps with ether sickness. By the Manusa, a traveler. I mean, greetings. Greetings and welcome. You are wise, good sir, to come to me. My special Amaralasi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of a warm welcome to Thavnir, I'm pleased to offer it to you for the low, low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains.
Oh my gosh.
The price is highway robbery, and you want to say as much to Estinian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Estinian and use gestures. Deny that the deal is fair. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassi. This merchant is swindling me. This is sincerest apology, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for 3 bottles of lassi. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well, then take your coin.
How come I can't find the deny?
I just did slash deny. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Are we still going to get hit with it? Yes, we are. Hey, y'all made it almost all the way there.
We both were like sprinting to be there before it happens.
Uh-huh.
Praise be to the 12. My stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee, Anastinian, and to the fine fruits of this land. You were in time? Excellent. You've spared us Tartaru's wrath. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. Aye, I've bound it. It's the most I could do against the heat, short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's a Thavnarian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400. Or 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alpha Node could hold a candle to you. I'm going with option 1. I am inclined to agree with thine assessment. It doth seem excessive. Unusually so. Claiming Thavnir as its dominion, the nation of Razathan hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Arxodra, a Matanga tribe indigenous to the island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling of culture, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hanish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this have combined to make a trading power of Razathan. Yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant, does suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye. We've naught to lose by learning more. So ere we seek out Kral's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Yedamad? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. And I saw a meme a couple of weeks ago that showed a picture of Estinian, and they were talking about the little pouches he has around his waist. And what is he keeping those? And somebody mentioned probably about 1 billion gil worth of hair ties. And now I understand what they meant by that.
That's funny.
Right. Let us split up and make inquiries in town. The pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte, off-putting though the mere sight of it may be. Did y'all already attune?
Oh, I haven't.
Unless you want to go back the queasy way.
No, I do not.
Well, I have 2 bottles.
Yeah, I think Thancred's going to need those.
Did you pick that up?
I did. The gem, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a quest. It's just talking to them to activate the fate
yeah.
system.
Well, hell, I could get some of my stuff from her.
The crate is laden with fruits, but they are on the verge of spoiling, as if they have been left too long. It's very colorful here.
Mm-hmm.
Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off nearby isles, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels further away. Compared to other ports you have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit, though I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. Business has never been this terrible, but I suppose things could be even worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat, like Kazal. I don't envy his position. Better to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler, by the looks of you? If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kazal a visit? He'd be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at Saltwind Sails, the harbor guild building across the water from here. Well now, if it isn't a traveler, you're a rare sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us a wide berth since that accursed tower suddenly appeared in Nuranair. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion, but no, it had to spawn fell fiends as well. We still have our lives, thanks to the Radiant Host, but business is as good as dead. What'll become of us only the gods know. I like the elephant men.
Mm-hmm, me too.
The Dalmascans aren't coming? But we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And then there's the towers sitting on our doorstep spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. We can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. But this will be an enormous loss. Alright. Forget about the Dalmascans. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all the perennial Hannish favorites. Our consortium works closely with the merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things, Kazal. I do. Which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been cancelled or indefinitely postponed. And you are? Wait, you're a foreigner, are you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. I see. That's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk with one of the others. Excuse me? My name is Matsuya, and I'm here to see Kazal. Ah, it seems he's busy. I'll come back later then. I actually thought it might just be raining in the quest, but it appears the weather just changed to rain. It made it seem much sadder than maybe it is. We'll
I
see.
know, right?
Yeah.
Yes, can I help you? Ah, I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak to Kazal too, did you? I am Matsuya, a fisherman of Akalai, a nearby village. I sell my catch to Kazal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't bought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium had been struggling, I became worried and decided to come and see him. Just as soon as he's free, anyway. He's a hard-working man. I dare not disturb him. And do remember, you probably have what's in that box. Yeah, on your main deck, at least. If I may ask, what is it that you do? I kill monsters. An adventurer, you say? And you travel the world helping people? Then you must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? You see, I've brought some fresh fish with me. The portion I couldn't preserve, and I want to sell them. The problem is, I'm terrible with people. I've ever only dealt with Kazal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not peddle the fish in my stead, and show me how it's done? If you're willing, please let me know, and we can begin at once. The events to follow cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending Duty Finder registrations. Uh-oh. How long is this going to take?
I know, right?
You'll do it then? Show me how to deal with customers? I'm in your debt. Right. Please, try peddling my fish to, shall we say, 3 people here in Yaldamad. I will observe you and learn. Matsuya is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Matsuya the same thing that we dealt with in the other quest. I certainly hope that these guys are one of the beast tribes that we deal with in this X-Pack. Hmm? Yes? I'm going with option 2. Greetings to you too. I suppose I'm well enough, given the circumstance. Things have settled down somewhat, but it was utter chaos when that tower first appeared. Everyone grabbing whatever they could, trampling over each other to get to the city. Many remain there for now, but I could not stay away. Had to come back, continuing with my life such as it is. Whether or not it was the right choice, only time will tell. Option 2 again. Oh, trust me, I don't. I make sure to keep well clear of the tower, and when more monsters emerge from it, I heed the Radiant Host's instructions. I hope they deal with it soon, so we can get back to our normal lives. To the days when we could earn as much as you gave, and tuck into a meal satisfied that you did a day of good work. Well, gotta try to sell something. Option 1. Fresh fish, you say? Oh, you're a fishmonger. Ha! When you bait me like that, how can I not bite? Very well. Give me some of your fish.
You guys suck.
Thank you for your custom. The catch of the day is Shallow's cod, delectable stewed in coconut milk or baked with a sprinkle of salt.
KJ, did you do different things and fail?
Yeah, I did number 1 and it failed right off the bat.
Ah.
You gotta talk to him. You gotta schmooze him.
Schmoozy
Yeah.
schmoo.
Build relationship with trust is that what you're trying to tell me?
Mm-hmm. Can't be pushy. I don't know. The next one we get is gonna be one that's gonna be a bit more fun.
There seem to be a lot of the all raw here.
I was thinking the same thing.
A hawker, are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? If so, I want to buy some Mamara. Let's say a dozen. They don't need to be export quality. Option 2, I guess, because the first one's rather aggressive. Why, for eating, of course. It may seem like a lot, but of late I go through that much in no time at all. I'm a stock taker by trade, but with no vessels coming in these days, the wares are beginning to pile up. By the same token, nothing is coming in from overseas, but not a day goes by that someone doesn't come asking when the next shipment is arriving for this or that or this or that. All of it wears me down. I find myself constantly feeling hungry. Option 1. You know, when I think on it, I'm not so sure. Rather than hungry, perhaps I've been feeling unfulfilled? And I try to fill the void by gorging on food I like. Do you like fish? Fish? I do like fish, as a matter of fact. Why do you ask? Oh, so you're a fishmonger. Apologies for the misunderstanding. Seeing as you're here, do you happen to have any accolati sardine? They're perfect in a spicy soup. We certainly do, madam. And if you like it spicy, I also recommend them pickled in oil with generous amounts of chilies. Oh, that does sound like a wonderful challenge. I didn't have fish in mind at first, but I dare say I'll enjoy these. Thank you. I think this is also doubling as us getting some more information while we're doing this. Because we've learned how the monsters in the Radiant Host work, and we've learned how shipments aren't coming in. So.
Yeah, if I listen to you guys.
KJ, you're selling things like you're still a Lalafell.
I'm a rebel.
I know, right?
I'm a warrior bunny, damn it, not a salesman.
What is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh, God. The stomach. Ugh. Aether sickness? No, nothing so unusual. If I hurry to get back to work, I just ate a little too quickly. And no, fresh fish are not going to settle your stomach. You should take it easier and savor your food. Would that I could, but I can't afford to be idle. Like as not, circumstances will surely get worse before they get better. And so I'm working as hard as I can while I still can. The better to be prepared. Option 2. By stockpiling supplies. For that, I need to earn coins so I can buy food, medicine, what have you. How about some fresh fish for your supplies? They're freshly caught. Ah, well, fish wouldn't be bad, but I don't want to go through the hassle of preserving them myself. I'd rather buy stuff that's ready to store. So I'm afraid I'll have to pass on your fish. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be getting back to work.
Ha! I went with number 2.
Too bad we couldn't make a sale, but we did manage to build up something of a relationship. Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was truly eye-opening experience. Come, let us return to the pier. And hey, you also need a place to sell your preserved fish, Matsuya, and this guy wants to buy it, so...
Well, I am selling it to him right now.
He took the sale with
Yeah,
the
he
other
did.
option.
Yep. The last of his pickled and whatever fish, and he just selling it, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll take 2 out of 3. You don't make a sale every time.
Well, the good
Nope.
thing is, though, like, it didn't fail it. It didn't fail the quest.
Mhm.
Indeed.
All right, where are you guys at?
Went down to the pier. Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. You managed to sell to 2 of 3 people you approached. Adventurers do indeed have great conversational skills. Watching you work was very enlightening. By applying the lessons I've learned, I hope one day to peddle as well as you. Still, there's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal with Kazal soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice. And who should it be but Matsuya? Kazal, have you finished your business at the guild? Oh, you were there too. Forgive me. Try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly any going out, there simply aren't any options. At this rate. So you can't buy my fish anymore? I'm sorry, Matsuya, I truly am. But for now, you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. I accidentally skipped that. I've poured my all into the consortium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I've friends and families depending on me, and I won't fail them. The sisters as my witness. Kazal. Not to worry. Using what I've learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage somehow. Just one second. Good evening, Mandy. Welcome in, Raiders. How did Majora's Mask go, Mandy? We're going pretty well. Fairly early tonight so far, but progress is being made. Howdy, Rock. How you doing? Howdy, Kyle. How are you doing? Well, I had best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. Oh yeah, I forgot that we were doing something for Thancred. I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust. Thanks for the raid, Mandy. Have a good lurk, and have a good evening. Howdy, Leona. How are you doing tonight? Or I guess for you it'd be early morning, wouldn't it? Thank you for the follow.
Did you stop talking?
Oh, sorry, I've gotten a raid over here. I'm greeting chatters.
Oh, that's okay. I just was worried. I'm sorry.
That's alright. Howdy, Lube. How you doing? Let's see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many locals' livelihoods, but to think that it would be to such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected, discovery, disappearances and kidnappings are disturbingly commonplace. As before, the culprits are almost certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use the faith of their hapless thralls to call forth a lunar primal. Business as usual for the Tlaferai. Tlaferoi. No problem, Leona. Have a good night. That Masia fellow you were helping is Arxidora, is he not? Apparently 'tis almost exclusively his people that are being kidnapped. Should he be traveling alone? If summoning is this perpetrator's aim, it doth stand to reason that the Oxidora would be their primary targets. For 'tis the faith of their ancestors which prevaileth in this land, and many are devout adherents still. Howdy, Teha. How's it going? We'd better go after it. Akalai lies to the west, as I recall, the same direction as Kral's acquaintance, incidentally. It's settled then. Keep your eyes peeled while we make for the village. It goes pretty well. We're just getting started with Endwalker. So, that's going well. No, we had a much shorter trip than I was expecting. Also, I see we have a blue unlock quest. Just one second. Chances it's an Aether Current. Because there are Aether Currents to gather. Yes, he has. Why are there Matanga everywhere? Has this town fallen? Oh, your face. It is known to me. You were the warrior who fought for the Maul in the Nadam. I am Ogul of the Katyan. It was your bravery and skill which inspired me to embark on my own hero's journey. Yet now I have foolishly blundered into a den of Matanga. Why do these others walk without fear? Do they not care if they are slaughtered? I'm going with option 2. I do not doubt your word, but grandmother would always warn me, if you encounter a Matanga, you turn tail and flee, as fast and as far as you can. Her tales were awful and bloody, and so now the very sight of them, the terror rises unbidden. No, I cannot stay here. I must earn enough coin to buy passage from this nightmare island as soon as possible. I beg of you, stay at my side for a time, just until I meet with this Kankana person the sailors told me about. She is said to have work that pays a fair wage, so I will see what she has for me.
Stay by her side, and she runs off.
Yep. Actually, there's probably an aetheryte around this building somewhere. Not an aetheryte, an aether current. Maybe up on a ledge. Yeah, probably up on the ledge. Or if I could even remember my directions, I was running the wrong way. By the Dusk Mother, no one told me that Kankana was a Matanga. Could I ask you to speak with her in my stead? Welcome to Yelamad, traveler. I am Kakana, and it is my job to assign the right work to the right workers. Might I have your name? Let me jot those down. Oh, grandmother, why? Why did it have to be a Matanga? Is your companion quite all right? Ah, an understandable reaction. The Gajasura tribe has done much to stain the reputation of our people. You are looking for work, though, yes? Many have been forced to take what they can get since the Troubles began, so I'm afraid all the simple jobs are gone. As for what's left, I only have tasks fit for seasoned fighters. Does that sound like something you could do? Fighting? I can fight, lest you doubt my skill is likened to that of the Dragonbane, the legendary Shakazo herself. I'm not familiar with the name, but you sound formidable indeed. Why don't we start you out on escort duty, then? A group of artisans set off to harvest materials, and ask that I send any prospective protectors their way, should I happen to enlist any. What? They already set off? It is our duty not to escort them? There's to be a ritual dance performed in Kaja's footsteps. They'll need incense and costumes for the dancers and such. The entire thing was decided rather suddenly, so there was no time to waste. And these artisans you speak of, do they also include Matanga in their number? It was an Arxidora who submitted the request. I hope that won't be a problem. Not at all. I look forward to fainting at the feet of my most feared enemy. I cannot do this alone. Pray lend me your strength. Lend me the strength of the victor of the Nadab, and half the reward of this task will be yours. The artisans didn't plan to venture far. Leave Yalamad to the west, and you should come across your employer. Then, that is where we shall meet. You will find me there, yes? There it is. And she continues to cower. Ah, you must be our belated escort, yes? Glad to have such courageous... is your companion not well? She seems a touch shaky. Of course, I should have thought of it before. I shall harvest the necessary ingredients while the artisans stay here. That way I have no need to fear him or being harmed. Perfect. I must say, this is less than ideal. My people are already scattered across the wilds, and wanted someone to roam around and ensure they were safe from attack. Is your friend perhaps frightened of the Arxidora? I have met such travelers before. Well, no matter. If you could patrol the area as I asked, I must attend to my own harvesting. Ogle has run off into the wilds alone. Keep an eye out for her as you continue your patrol.
Does it seem weird that the elephant people, we have a possibility of having to kill an actual elephant if they attack us?
Indeed, indeed. In fact, I didn't even notice. Does that thing have an interesting name?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, you can't actually target them.
You
No,
can
the one
target.
behind us.
Yeah, the one behind us you can. Oh, we're about to have to fight him anyway. You must think me foolish. I was so absorbed in my task that I failed to notice the ground shaking at their approach. Still, my injuries are light and my satchel is full. Thanks to you, I think I can make it back to town in time to meet the others. And apparently she did kill one on her own, so well done. What happened? Did you slay the beast? That was a near thing. I took the first one by surprise, but the second one, knowing a Matanaga at my, a matanga at my back. My mind froze and my body refused to obey. Grandmother taught that we should let fear wash over us like water, but to my shame, I could not have failed her more thoroughly. Not to sound ungrateful, but why did you follow me? We were to patrol. Forgive me. I should have waited for orders instead of running off alone and putting lives in peril. Come, we should return to our employer. I want to be sure that the wounded man reached safety. But she's facing away, but she's not cowering this time. My colleague told me of his rescue. Although we had hoped for an escort from the start, imagine if you had not come at all. I've sent him and the others back to our workshop, so consider your duty with us complete. You have my thanks. As for your payment, that you can collect from Kakana. Right, I suppose we report to Kankana then. Ah, there you are. Your employer expressed satisfaction with your work, so congratulations on a job well done. As a response to the recent chaos, the upcoming ritual was hastily planned, to say the least. As a consequence, the artisans have been hard-pressed to make everything ready. But when times are hard, the people of Thavnir rely on such traditions to renew their faith and bolster their hearts with the teachings of the divine. The death of an artisan would have thrown the whole thing into disarray, and thus your rescue was timely indeed. Please, accept your payment, half each, as agreed upon. Are you interested in further work? I may have something for you, if so. Just see if she had anything interesting to say. Wait, did I not get the one that we saw over here?
No, you did, but where we were down there, there was another one 50 alms straight north of there.
Oh. I bet that's up high.
Yeah, yeah. It'd have to be up there on those ledges.
Now, I imagine we will be required to go that way soon.
Yeah.
You do not see Matsuya nearby, but the elevated ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point.
So that's what they mean by keeping an eye out. Dismount. Do your little casting thing and then go.
Giant turtle on the road. It knew better than to mess with us, though.
Mm-hmm.
You get bigger boosters from my car. You do not see Matsuya from here, either. No! Leave me alone! Help! Someone help! Matsuya's voice, and it came from the north. I saw you do that little twirl with your flute there, KJ.
Yeah, that's when I give everybody the little boost for running.
Ah.
Right.
Right here.
Oh. I saw an up arrow, so I was looking for how to get up. Huh? Where did they go? Well, why are you here? I see you found him in time. You and your friends came to look for me. I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest. Think about what to do about, well, everything. And then those men came. Kidnappers. We'd heard the Arxidora were being targeted. Surely you have as well. Perhaps it's best if you took refuge at the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know. The ocean all we have. I see. That's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. A question, if I may. 'Tis our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What canst thou tell me of these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are. But I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Zot. House of Divinities in the old tongue means. But then they're not true divinities. They're monstrous imitations that bring only death. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that 'tis for no other purpose than but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us? Really? To think I had you peddling fish. But, to answer your question, yes, of course. We would gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please, come to our village. We're good gods-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge. And fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Akalai? Wonderful. Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it.
Safety in numbers.
So, 'tis the simulacra of the Thavnarian gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there can be none now. The kidnapped Hanish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we are able to save them. Though indeed, saving them will mean confronting their false gods. Like as not. Aye, as you said, we do well to study their religious traditions. To Akalai. Or Akyali. I think Akyali is how it's actually pronounced. And just, as I am wont to do, the Tower of Zot was a dungeon in Final Fantasy IV. And actually, as I have heard, Endwalker has a lot of references to Final Fantasy IV. So. which also happens to be one of my favorites of the series. So there is that.
That's good.
Over behind the buildings over here. Must be some way to get up on top of the mountain then. Or is there a cave over here?
No, I can't see all the way. Oh, there it is right there, though.
Oh,
To my left.
yeah, I see it.
No, I thought that was a cave, but I couldn't see all the way, so I jumped out.
Oh, when I saw you jump out, I was like, well, that looked like that might be a cave too, but yeah.
Hey, you don't lean forward when you're in that seat like I thought you would, KJ. Because Zora and I lean forward. You just sit on
Well,
back.
yeah, maybe it's because you guys are girls.
Maybe.
I'm not like hanging out on Kath's shoulder. Hey, Kath, whispering sweet nothings in his ear.
Okay, now we have to see what KJ looks like in each of the seats.
He's gonna be boring.
He's sitting there with his arms crossed. It's actually kind of the opposite of my
legs
current
crossed.
posture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arm on the side, leg crossed. Interesting.
Wait, I don't have my leg crossing number 2, though, do I?
No, I think you're just sitting straight forward in 2.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
Not even my arm up. That sucks.
Actually, that's
But-
you're kind of slouching in that position.
Yeah.
Look, it looks like. Oh no, I thought my hands were down closer to yours. It looks like we're gonna go and sneak and hold hands.
Getting there.
Got to keep an eye on those bunnies.
Ribbit, ribbit. Last frog. I guess thump, 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 thump with my foot.
Welcome to Akali, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here to save that, but please, make yourself at home. Your companions have already begun talking to everyone. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us could tell you about our gods, but you could do worse. You could do worse than to start with Kanga and old Hasvedia. They're free at the moment, as it happens. My chat says, let KJ appreciate being able to reach stuff that's on shelves now. You wish to know about our gods? What a curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'm happy to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is whence you hail, but on our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into 2 groups. The Manusa, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Mraga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. There were too many consonants in that word and not enough vowels. Together, they are the divinities. Their forms and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possessed of great insight and experience, and by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives.
The thing is, Kath, you'll probably look like I do in the dwarves tank. Look like they cut the bottom out and you're just walking it.
Possibly, or the tank would be huge.
Yeah.
Interested in learning about our gods, you say? That's what it's like. That's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Manusia and the Moraga, deities who look like men and beasts respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually, seeking the wisdom of the Manusa, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Manusa converted to the might of the Moraga, and so they too resolved to trade heads. Thus were born new gods, possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Manusa have worn animal faces, and the Moraga the limbs of men. Oh, these are going to be unsettling creatures.
Well, it almost sounds a little like Hinduism.
A bit, yeah.
You know?
Actually,
I mean, that's what I
probably,
think every time I see that elephant guy.
Yeah, probably a great deal like that, actually. There you are. Learned a thing or two about our gods, I trust. While you were off talking to the others, I remembered something that may be of interest. If you could let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once.
Okay, I just got the chills because of the rain.
It's been raining a lot on this island so far.
Yeah.
Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll which depicts the 3 of our most revered deities. Oh, by all means, we should like to see it. Might be better to go inside where it's not raining.
Yeah.
They are Manusa, and you heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The center one is the eldest, Sindurva, goddess of wisdom. For this alchemists hold her in highest. To her right is the middle sister, Sandurva. As goddess of wealth, she counts many traders among her followers. And on the left, Mindurva, the youngest sibling, she presides over the crafts, and so is beloved by weavers. Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep in their homes for good fortune. In like fashion, to the Manusa, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. And what of the Moraga, if I may ask? The Moraga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you'll find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses a Gaga's head, and he is venerated as the progenitor of the Oxidora. And then there are dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. You worship dragons too? It's said that an ancestor of the satrap, that's the ruler of Razatan, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the satrap. Legends hold that if ever the satrap is in need, his dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally. You claim to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. The passion you bear in your faith is plain to hear. I am confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I will pray for your success. Right. I believe it's time we sought out Kral's acquaintance. An alchemist by the name of Nidhana. According to Kral's notes, we're to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. And just so you know, one of the bosses in the Tower of Zot was 3 sisters. So,
Ah.
and they looked just like those 3. Did you say you're going to Nidhana? Going to see Nidhana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind and understanding. And did I say she's beautiful? I could stare at her dainty ears and adorable trunk all day. And those eyes. When you meet her, take care you don't drown in them.
I think we found a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
No problem. Guess we'll have to deal with that later.
And back.
Welcome back. I just took a little side trip trying to find an aether current and then found it's on the other side of a chasm. So,
Not going there anytime soon.
well, that didn't look good. Let's attune to the aetherite and then find out what's going on. Priorities, after all.
What happened here?
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
Oh, we have guests. You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see.
I recommend against sleeping in the rain, though, guys.
I know, right?
I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow.
I don't trust this little guy.
I'm going to
People
guess
of
that
the
he's a
Great
dragon.
I come bearing new scales.
Scales? We have new scales?
Okay.
Yes, my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
Oh, happy day. Now I can continue my experiment.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Those are dragon scales.
Yes, such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit. Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from that accursed tower. Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people? Of course! You're the one Kryl sent. The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
Ah, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova!
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
Curious that it concerns you so. But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
That is well.
You must be quite familiar with Dragon King, yes?
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it. have you
Curious,
not?
aren't you?
I should like to draw a file or two, if so. Now, see here. Come along, come along. I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
Hang on, Dave's reaction.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet place to talk? As you may have guessed, I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent the request to your Mistress Kryl. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the Great Work, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
Estinian's gonna have a fun afternoon.
He is.
Coming, KJ?
I'm not out of the cutscene.
Oh, sorry.
I'm out now. Where are you?
Normally I don't run off until everybody's out, but I didn't even notice that time.
Well, you guys were talking about a spot that I just barely got done watching. Old what's his Estinian getting all wigged out there. That was some
Yeah.
funny shit. And that little kid, Curious one.
Mm-hmm. Allow me to thank you for answering our call. Many towers have appeared around the world, and we are grateful that you would assist us with ours. Though Crow herself is tied up with another investigation, he is eminently capable substitute, and we will spare no effort to aid you. So if I understand correctly, you seek to make talismans that can nullify etheric emissions? Indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast concentrations of ether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, and are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the satrap bade us alchemists create enchanted talismans. Talismans that will allow our soldiers to venture into the tower, even should they lack innate protection. Could such a thing be possible? Admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of rivals. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales proved the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales have high resistance to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. I wonder if that means Estinian is immune to tempering. Thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we have been able to make steady progress with the talisman. Soon, we will be ready to conduct a field test, and here is where you and your blessing of light come in. Option 2 for me. Nothing complicated, I assure you. We ask only that you serve as an escort. I will explain in greater detail later, but you will be venturing into the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you. With your permission, of course. In that case, Urianger and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful. Seeing as you all work to the point of collapse, I suspect you could do with more hands. We would be grateful for any assistance you could provide.
I went with the number 3 as long as it doesn't draw blood, and then she claims, well, they're probably taking more than the blood.
If you are ready, then let us begin. Let us put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Work and turn south, there will be a hill on the right. I will meet you at the top after seeing to some preparations.
So she called the little one His Excellency. Does that mean he's a little dragon?
I didn't hear her call him His Excellency. He just said the scales we get from His Excellency. The kid delivers them. The satrap is His Excellency. Now, perhaps the kid is the satrap, but I don't know yet. Now, how are we supposed to get to this place we're supposed to go to? Okay, I think I see. What is a drunken Deepa? I hope you didn't have any trouble finding this place, or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I give you the fruit of our sweats, tears, and many sleepless nights. The drunken Deepa. A Deepa is a lantern presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficacy. Upon activation, it will move to a certain distance before emanating a powerful blast of ether. In lieu of corruption, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe ether sickness. For your test, you will be exposed 4 times. That should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin whenever you are ready. I shall be observing from a safe distance. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. Follow the Drunken Deepa's lead and try not to fall behind. Readying ether. Please stand back. Readying ether. Please stand back. Readying ether. Please stand back. How far is far enough back?
I don't know.
Ah, here we are.
Are we supposed to stand in it or not stand in it?
You are struck by a powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Subject has no irresistible urge to empty their stomach. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Readying ether. Please stand back. You are struck by another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Subject's stomach and bowel integrity holding. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. I don't like the sound of these side effects.
Wow, mine got way behind.
On my screen. You're just standing there.
That's because my thing is still standing here.
Did you talk to it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Tells me it's preoccupied, unable to interact.
Odd. How about now?
Mm-mm.
Just 1 second.
Okay, it did it this time.
Okay, good. That is a good point about Tiamat. Although they did Grahatia did argue that because they
yeah.
Bahamut and Tiamat saw each other as equals, so it may not have been able to temper her well, but yeah. Subject fortitude rated impressive. No irregularities confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow and brace for final discharge. How bad is this one going to hit us?
I know, right?
Or is the thing just going to explode? You were struck by the strongest blast of ether yet, but survived completely unscathed. Etheric exposure test concluded. Please collect and deliver me to the supervising alchemist. Congratulations on retaining your composure and your humors. Ah, you've returned, and not on your knees. A promising sign. But come, let me take the deep off your hands. Here, have your sentient lamp. Thank you. I shall replenish its ether for when we test the talisman. So, no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You're feeling perfectly fine? Then the strength of your blessing is beyond doubt. There is no risk that the tower will corrupt your ether. With this, we can request your aid for the final task ahead with easy hearts. I.e., going into the tower.
Congrats, Sora.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Hey, congrats on your 86. I didn't see when that happened.
That happened last week sometime.
I still didn't see it. You've been 85 forever in my head.
You're a capable warrior too, are you not? Would you be amenable to assisting me with another errand? You see, our talisman requires the use of a special ink, but we have exhausted our stores of the key ingredient for it, spirit weed. The herb grows not far from here, and I would like to go and harvest some. With the recent spate of kidnappings, however, we Oxidora travel alone at our peril. Will you not come with me as an escort? I would compensate you for your troubles, of course. I'm in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kajia's footsteps. It is situated on the road which runs east of the Great Work. I may simply be imagining it, but I feel as though we're being followed. Look out! Gods, but that gave me a fright. To think that the moment I ventured outside the safety of the work. Thank the sisters I asked you to come with me. You're all right, I hope. Good, good. Let's continue on then. It isn't that far now. Just through these pillars and up the rise. Yeah, we don't really have to worry about tempered Imperials. We have a very tiny spectral Bahamut that does all kinds of damage.
He's badass.
Mm-hmm. I feel like fighting a lizard man. Or a dinosaur man. 468 XP.
You didn't put your food on, didn't you?
And here we are. Katja's footsteps. No, KJ, I have not. I need to do that. Katja was a great dancer, and those who follow in her, well, you know, they came to this place to train and dedicate their dance to their ancestors. A happy benefit of this is that spirit weed grows here in abundance. I will set about harvesting it at once. If you'd be so good as to stand guard. The kidnappers aren't like to return soon, but better safe than sorry. By the way, do any of you guys have any classes that are level 80 or higher?
No.
No.
Just these.
Right.
Yes, that would be Radzad Khan. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began. The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing. Well, he is the most important person in Radzad Khan. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the warlike Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether. Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjor from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves. It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people. But when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates a solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Radzad Khan to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios.
I come all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh something? Oween?
Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail? Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans. And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned, for we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
I guess it's good that we were here and not there.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Wasn't Owen the name of the long dead researcher that we were tracking around Azishala with Grahatia? The one who discovered how to cure tempering but couldn't get anybody to fund his research anymore?
Oh, I think that's right.
Alright. I have enough spirit weed to last us a good while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let us head back to the great work, shall we? My thanks again for your assistance. With your help, we're that little bit closer to completing our talisman. This isn't much, but please accept it as a token of my gratitude. If you will excuse me, I shall return to work on the talisman. Ah, you're both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nidana. It would seem the stores of Giant's Gall are running low. What? But when last I looked, there was plenty. I suspect that was before Oriange told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estinian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your peers have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it from me to complain. But we will need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to this, if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while the kidnappers are at large. Loath I am to press another task on you so soon. Might I ask you to fetch the Giant's Gall? In case you're not familiar, Giant's Gall is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and etherical conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not the least of all. The quarry where it is found, aptly named Giant's Gall Grounds, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. May we impose upon you once more? Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zenunia. He will furnish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that will take me to an outpost nearby. May we borrow a pair of Hamsa, Mistress Nadana? By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I will bring the Hamsa to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready. What happened to these creatures, and why are there only survivors?
Yeah.
Another blue quest down here. Yep.
You have a moment, adventurer. One of my colleagues has gone missing. She said she was going to Katja's footsteps to get a bit of exercise, but she hasn't come back. I'd go search for her, but it's almost time for a shift change, and I can't very well leave the kiln to operate itself. Could you find her and fetch her for me? You are too kind. She should be in Katja's footsteps. Keep an eye out for a hearer with black hair. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. She was out the last time you were by, and she was devastated that she missed out on the chance to meet an adventurer aiding the students of Valdesian.
Are those guys riding dodo birds? Yep, dodo birds.
Those might be the creatures we're looking for. I see what they mean by survivors, then.
Yeah.
This quest is much further away than I was expecting.
Well, it looks like it's going right back to where we were. Yep.
Well, yeah, we were on the other side of the footsteps of Katja, though. I think. Maybe it was just right here.
No, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. What do you mean I need to go back to work? Oh, have I really been out that long? I really should go. But I was hoping to get a better look at the stage before I left. I'm sure you're busy, but could you assist me for a moment? Thank you. I'll inspect the walls, so could you make sure the stage is in order? Some of the paint is worn off. It could use a fresh coat. The cloth wavers exquisitely in the wind. No problems here. There's a small hole in the floor. That can't be good. Any problems? The floor and the paint? I'll have to fix them the next time I come by. Thanks for checking. You know, it seems odd that I've never met you until now. You wouldn't happen to be the adventurer sent by the students of Baldessian, would you? You are. And here I wasn't delegating you menial tasks. If I had known, I've always admired travelers like you. You see, I was studying to be a dancer under Mistress Nashimira at one time. I wanted to see the realm as I traveled for performances. And maybe I still can. Not as a dancer, of course, but as an alchemist. Oh, but we should hurry back to the great work. I don't want to cause any more trouble than I already have.
You want to dry back or just fly back?
There's an aether current not far from here. Oh, they don't let me jump.
Rude.
Well, then we might not be able to get the aether current right this second. Might be a case that we're not supposed to go to this area yet.
That was the same one. And that was in the canyon.
No, that was south of here by a good distance.
I'm more concerned about being able to get back. Oh no, we can hearth.
We can hearth
Yeah.
back up.
Well, it's possible this one's accessible. Yeah, it's right there. Okay.
Unless there's another one.
Nah, it's through the impenetrable wall of air. Ah, there you are. I heard you helped my colleague with her stage inspection while you were out. It's greatly appreciated. She really looks up to your kind, you know. She lost her chance to become a dancer due to an unfortunate injury, and now she's working to heal the sick and injured as an alchemist. She was so happy to meet you, as am I. Here, a token of our thanks. And grats to Emo?
Me?
Yep.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Right.
And now I'm the only one who will be completing Chloe books.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be taking my 70th level.
I don't know if that'll work. You might
Yeah,
be.
we wondered about that. Yeah.
You might be able to pick up the book with a lower class, and it might work, but it might be as soon as you have reached the level cap on anything. We'll have to test that.
Yeah.
Here are Hamsa. If the creatures look familiar, it's because they are close kin of Eorzean dodos. Hamsa have long been kept as livestock in Thavnir, and many a hatchery may be found here. Alas, the largest of these was recently raised by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let us make for the outpost. We set forth at your word. You are ready? Then let us depart. You need only ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead, and yours will follow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my hell.
Well, at least they increased in size.
Yeah, but I go to roll right off the damn thing.
You're gonna have to see screenshots of me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just fine.
Oh yeah, we could still do Chloe's books, but when we hit level 90, the books got much harder to do. We encountered that last Sunday when we were working on our books, so. True. And here we are. Manned by the Radiant Host, this outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. Well, well, who should it be but young Vashan, on an errand for the satrap? I am. His Excellency bade me to come and collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication. We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of the battle, no place for children. Your predecessor too often traveled alone. It's been, what, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how the fellow is faring. Like those before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may now be, I am certain he is well. As for myself, I assure you that all I do of my own volition, and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering, but still I worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? I will, Nabdeen. Thank you. And who might you be? Not Hanish, by the look of him. Permit me to introduce him. Of the Eorzean contingent, come to assist me in the making of the talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there, too, yes? Tell me, what is the situation like? May I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe. An excellent idea. Given the unexpected nature of the threat, some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad of any tidings that you can share. You too. Bring Vashan the latest report, and answer any questions he may have. My coattails kind of furled out there a bit.
It looks great.
Uh-huh. Ah, I've heard about you. The visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophori? We know that they're the ones behind the tower, and that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it that they want? This we don't understand. What? They want to die and take everyone with them? What madness is this? Well, you can bet that we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers. It occurs to me that I have not properly introduced our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the Satrop's command. Our duty is to preserve the peace in the land, be it in patrolling the streets or dealing with the heretofore unknown threats such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we've struggled to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeed in striking them down on the 2 occasions they came in force, we had to pay a heavy price. What of the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls from outside aid to be answered. That's quite a name you've got there. You wish to know about the tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zot, as folk have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Isle of Nuranair. We're safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Our struggles are not unique, then. Then our hopes still lie with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they are ready. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? Hope it was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub, Razatan ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, this stream dried up when the trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst the dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But, come, you had best see to your original errand. As mine will keep me here a while longer, however, I'm afraid I cannot guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamsa you will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. The kid is strange. And the comment about his predecessor disappearing 2 years ago. Though the Hamsa appears to want to return home, it reluctantly offers you its back. Should you become separated from your steed, speak with the Radiant Beast Keeper at the Hamsa hatchery to mount it again. You guys can see how silly I look now.
We all look silly.
Yeah, I was like, we all do.
I guess we are riding dodo birds, after all. There's not really a way to do that and not look silly.
Alright. Where are we supposed to go? Back?
I'm heading toward the arrow right now.
There it is.
It's possible we were supposed to take the low route instead of the high route, though. Better to take the high route and need the low route than to take the low and need the high.
Right? And
Nope.
somewhere over the west here, there's a thing.
This was right. No sooner do you arrive at your destination than the Hamsa dashes off. Good. Be gone with you, strange bird creature. There should be an aetherite over here, or aether current over here somewhere.
Oh, it's over there.
I wonder. They said when the Ra arrived here, I wonder if it's my people that came here. Because my people aren't the Ra of the Azim Steppe.
Well, it could
So
be.
they said the other group of Ra left there and went to the west. So maybe they came here.
Why are you running beyond, Zora?
Because it didn't trigger.
Oh, it didn't like turn in for you?
You might have to go back and pick up one of the mounts.
Oh my god.
Oh no. At least it's not too far.
Indeed.
I'll be back.
AFK a minute.
This non-playing is hard.
It's down the road. Don't follow me.
I'm like, where are you going?
Well, Kath went AFK, so I started looking for stuff to mine.
Oh. Alright, there we go. Well, I did. I picked up picked up the hunt, and so there was some of the creatures were on my hunt list, so I killed them on the way back.
Way to waste our time.
Sorry. I couldn't help it.
It's okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright, this is indeed the Giant's Gall grounds, and I am Zenuna. Is there something you require? Giant's Gall for the alchemists, you say? But of course, they shall have it. They labor tirelessly to deal with the tower, and 'tis the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Here you are, a sack of the purest Giant's Gall. We always set some aside for our alchemist friends. When you deliver it, let the good folk of the great work know that we're grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask. That's not very far away. But is it beyond an invisible wall of air? That's the question.
Possibility.
We'll see.
That would appear to be a distinct possibility.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the. Yep, down there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's right there.
Carr says no. Alright. Back to Nidhana. Ah, welcome back. Dare I hope you have the Giant's Gall? Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype. One that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it is ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts? There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that. What is it? What did you see? Fandaniel. Are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last! Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments. We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine
I thank you for your kind words.
Didn't mean to skip that.
But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
I wish they would just click their own, you know, or not make me click it. If they're going to talk, then just finish it.
Yeah, I liked the one the other day where they did that for us. But I do kind of like it being able to pause it if you need to. But I agree.
Well, just one or the other.
Yeah. But one feature that's common in visual novel type things, which the story missions are basically is the ability to just toggle on and off auto skip like that. So I would have looked many times for this to have one of those, but it doesn't seem to.
Yeah, they don't have the one to toggle on and off, but if you hit the space bar when you're in there, it will go through it automatically.
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
They'll let them finish talking and everything too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it still does. It does it as a slower pace than. Sometimes it will sit there longer than what I feel I could read it, but it does go through it.
Yeah, I caught myself twice already today when I needed to click, and I was like, shit, again, I forgot.
Yeah.
This is a rather finer boat than I had expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is to board and be on our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it does not come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of a kind, and perhaps our only hope in toppling this tower. For all our sakes, do not hesitate to do what must be done, whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling now that she gets possessed, whatever, and we actually kill her. And then that guy we helped is angry with us.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could. So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. What? Oh, there we go! Oh, there we go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only
FYI,
hurt
the
yourself
pause
thrashing
worked,
about like
Zora.
that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting. Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Vandaniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Vandaniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Vandaniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
At your service. Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met, day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation, slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Amon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war. And so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead. The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see you.
Also, side note, after you pushing this pause button to make it automatically go, you can push left or right to make it go faster or slow it down in between them talking.
Gotcha. And I think we may have just met the real reason why the Crystal Tower became required. Because while the events of 5.3 would have been confusing without having run the Crystal Tower, that would have made no sense whatsoever without it.
Oh yeah.
Ah, you are returned. But where is Mr. Nidana? Manusia Preserve. Just when we had succeeded in making the talisman. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work.
Did you find one?
It said 222 yalms to the east, which is almost practically in visual range from here. If I had to guess, I'd say it's up on that ledge.
Right
Oh yeah,
there.
it's in the building.
In the
In
little
the
building.
They
yeah.
destroyed one.
Not that one.
Ah, I see. Alright, back to the great work, KJ.
Trying, just had to zoom in. Although I could just use the other chart.
Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? So it was Fandaniel after all. Damn that bastard. I'm sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. We must tread warily lest we endanger Nidana and the other captives. First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nidana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Oh, Nidana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? Then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nidana proved a peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who were taken might be saved. Aye, as alchemists, that's how we will help win the fight. My friends, the satrap has been made aware of this tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, that you might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. So that he might directly... blah. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razat Han for an audience with His Excellency? We should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be to benefit of all. Then it is settled. Please come to the gates east of the Giant's Gall grounds, and I will show you into the city. I think I just saw a dodo climbing one of those banners before it took off to fly. I'm not entirely sure I saw this, because that feels like that would be insane. But I still think I saw it.
Yeah.
No, I believe I'm actually heading in the wrong direction. Yes, we are. This way. All present? Then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Thavner, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rods at Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are. Megadota. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzat-Han. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude. I assume you speak of Nidana. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sorma's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Rads at Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive were the Aura. Adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility, when it seemed all would be drowned in blood. Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Rads at Han.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
a charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye
Did not mean to skip that.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered. Estinian warm blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another. Yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz Adan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions, and should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm, or the ruler of Radz Adan, I see no reason to refuse. Nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Sharlayan and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the Aetheryte here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoy violent nausea.
Did we need to do anything else back here?
I think we're done here. Well, for now, at least.
Well, yeah. I'll be back mining and foraging.
And once we've done the quest line here in Sharlayan, we will be sent back over there to go into the Tower of Zot, I would assume.
It's snowing here.
Indeed it is.
Oh, I thought you meant like here in Utah, outside.
No.
Well, it was snowing. The snow has just ended, and it has shifted to clouds.
Oh, that's funny.
But I saw the snowflakes. They did exist.
Yeah.
But I would also say that we are probably at a good stopping spot for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So give me just a moment, and I will wind down the stream. Alright, guys. I believe that is where we are going to call it for tonight. And seeing as how we received a raid from Mandy earlier, there may be some of you still left, so let's see if we can find somebody to pass this on to. Alright, we're going to be sending this raid over to Vanispheres. He is playing Goose Goose Duck. And he is a fellow warrior of light. So, let's go see him, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night with more Final Fantasy VII. Until then, thank you for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. And have a good night.